time's done. I don't know where this is going to go. This is round 2 for the day. And we'll see when people show back up and we'll give me some ideas. Maybe perhaps the audios I've been listening to. See if we can, get into the Universal one, the Law of One, and the I Am saga, the God Man and the Word Made Flesh, the Immortal Cell. I don't know. Whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm going to have a beverage. How you feel about that? How's your day going? What's happening? I will give it a second before I start gnawing on whatever I was just listening to. I forget the name. I think it's something Baird. I've listened to it so many times that I just hit the button and it's like 2 hours of awesomeness. And there's so many great little chunks, little nuggets, little pieces of wisdom in there. And we'll see if I can relay that in less than 2 hours. Yeah. Check that out real quick. There we go. If you are new here and you're waiting for me to talk, I mean, like if you're watching this in the future, maybe find a different video or a different video of my earlier one, and or skip forward a little bit. We'll see. Maybe we could talk about cells in the sense of children and how they're formed, and then how the brain operates, and how people are either more clearly mentally or spiritually identified or more physically identified, and what that does to the childlike curiosity, which equates to a type of genius that people experience life in a different way. You know, people that, like, great things always happen to, and they don't worry much, and it's they live in this kind of like a bubble of awesomeness, and that's usually due to not being put underneath an illusion or a spell or a hypnotism. Hypnotized. They're not hypnotized by the world. Like, most people look at the world and they see physical objects, and they're impressed by what you called Caesar's world. Julius Caesar, that JC, not Jesus Christ, the other JC. One is physical, one is spiritual, mental, imaginatory, like imagination, right? So many people have been hypnotized by the world because it seems so sturdy. It seems so much, there it is. It is so. Where other people are not hypnotized by that, by the physicality of things. They're not as thoroughly impressed with physicality because they see where it comes from. They see that tree was once not here and now it is, and one day it won't be. They see the creation of artwork and its dissolution. They see plants grow, and they see things eaten, digested. They see everything as the impermanence of reality. If you comprehend the impermanence of all of reality, even your thoughts, and especially these physical things, and you get there, then you have a lot more control over what's going on the physical realm, because everything on the physical realm is controlled from the spiritual realm, the invisible realms. Your mind influences the reality. Before we created anything, we had to think about it. Nobody just created a car. They thought about it. They imagined it. And then they put it into form. But thus, you understand that it came out of what would appear to be nothingness. emptiness, airiness, in the invisible landscape of reality. So when you don't get stuck onto this physical thing, life becomes a little more wavy and groovy and easy to navigate. You can't really contain the wind, so be very airy. Water flows, and like be like water, my friend. Yeah, you can freeze water and all that. That's why it's better to be of a higher value, the wind or plasma or whatever, or etheric, or spiritual, or mental, because you think something and there it is. Nothing has to be done. You think it, and then it becomes. I mean, this all must have manifested out of something. All of this stuff did not manifest out of physicality. It manifested out of imagination of it being here. So when you stop identifying so much with the physical landscape becomes much more malleable, because it bends and molds to your will, to your imagination. Everything becomes very moldable. Malleability. Is it malleability? Malleability. Yeah. So these people that seem to have everything just easily come to them, they magnetize the universe to create for them. Sure, oftentimes they're musicians and artists and what have you, but in a general role, we're talking about like how life, it's not supposed to be this difficult, confounded, strangeness. It's supposed to fluidly move, so you don't get too sticky or attached to things, and then it's easier to allow your brain, which is doing all the calculating, and allow your mind, which is behind the brain. The mind is doing the imagining, the brain is doing the calculating. It leaves those kind of free to, it frees up space to do things, to imagine, and then that makes manifest the reality. The physicality comes out of that. If you, however, think everything is physical, and you live in a physical realm, then you'll feel the need to use physicality for everything that you do. Everything that you need, everything that you require, there must be some physical thing I can trade for this. There must be a physical item. There must be a physical thing that's going on. That's how everything works, right? Except not quite. Who's up in here? Got a little bit of glare, Claire. Oh yeah, I hear you on that. Who else is up in there? I can't see who came in after you. What's up, Michigalander? Oh man, that I'm not going to get into on here. I'm not getting into that word because it will screw my show up, and I don't need that. I will, however, attempt to talk about that in a different way at another time. We'll address the first part, though, I think. So you said, oh yeah, I mean, well, there is quite a bit of, that it goes into the art of suggestion and a type of psychological magic and imprinting that's going on to people's minds that are causing a lot of that to happen. It's kind of like, if you can convince enough people that it's going to rain, everybody will think it's going to rain and manifest that rain. It's kind of like that. So people have, it's one more illusion that they put in front of you. Like, yeah, I mean that's obviously the backdrop for a lot of reality right now. That stuff going on. So like, what do you do with that? You can only do your best to imagine it otherwise, and perhaps if you continue to imagine that otherwise, you'll jump into that reality. and all of the dumb things that are going on with the like half of people. Okay, I mean you got to think about it. Half of people are under like the whole illusion, the castle of cards. It's all gonna fall, and it's not gonna work for them. The them thing. And then other people are like, oh, it's we're into a brave new world of craziness. Everything's gonna be computers, and you're gonna be everything's on this and under the thumb of the overlords, and it's a coin flip for people right now. Some people are very much like, no, that's not gonna happen. No way. We got better things to do. That's not my reality. And then you have the other people that are like, oh my God, you got some people that want it. Like they really despise their reality so much because they don't have any control over it. At least they don't think they do. And that they would rather, stuff themselves into a computer system where they think they'll have unlimited freedom within a computer system to go and live within a smaller matrix. I think we know what that means to the soul and the spiritual thing, and putting yourself cloaked in more layers of the onion of whatever consciousness is, and being like, it's like you wake up like, oh, Savan always told the story about when he first woke up. He was like, I went to this deep dream state where I was like incepted into a dream, and I found myself in an opium den dreaming this dream, but I had to wake myself up from the opium den. And he was like, that was another one of there was a deeper reality I was sitting in. And he's like, so this one was only influenced by the fact that another form of himself in a different reality was projecting this reality. And so now if people go and they really don't like this reality, they jump into the computer system, which then only imprisons them into a prism, even a digital one, which that's, I think we can see the dilemmas with that. I mean, because aren't we already the most powerful computer, considering where right now I'm observing and decoding this reality as a tree, and I can smell this, and I can feel this, and I can feel this air, and I can taste it's a little rainy over there, and I mean we're already in this. We're in it. We're in the reality, and what would computer games and video games, all that, great, just fantastic. It's just like watching a movie, as long as you can maintain that separate thing. It's like this phone. I know it's a conduit to help people. I know it's a conduit for information, and it's an assist. It assists in my reality, but it isn't the only aspect of it. Where if people start putting themselves into the system, due to why do these people so desperately desire a computer system to be made? Is their reality not enough already? Is the fact that they're not extremely wealthy and can fly places and get on boats, and they can have any food they want, and they go that's not enough? So now what do they need everyone else into a computer system for? What's the purpose? What are they extracting? What do they want? Or is it because they're not as, they think that's going to give themselves even more freedom? Will they end up using their own? Will they end up using their own product? You know what I'm saying? Will they end up jumping into go watch Ready Player One? It's a pretty good story. I think similar of what's going on and kind of what's occurring. Haha. No, I hear you. What's up, Tan? What's up, Divine? Yeah, the future primer. Well, yeah, I think that's. If you go, well, you have the Eastern and the Western Kundalini. One is the hot Kundalini, one's the cold Kundalini. That's how they kind of explain it. And you could use that in the sense of, let me switch gears a little bit, not get into that concept. Let's get into just sticking with the computer computer-based algorithms and the AI-generated systems and the robotics and the binary and trinary computer systems and all of that stuff. Like, if we're on this realm, what is the purpose? Are we putting a realm inside of a realm? Aren't we already inside of a smaller realm that's larger? So what are we just going to do? Is it going to be like Rick and Morty when it's a microverse and then a mini-verse inside the microverse? and as per usual, like, what is the purpose? Is this tree right here that offers me fruit not enough? Are these is it an unfulfilling, is it because people have unfulfilling relationships? Is that what it is? Because is it easier to have a go to Westworld and all of these kind of shows where people if you could design in a laboratory the perfect mate, what would you do? I mean, what are you going to do? Design one where you never fight with? You're going to, like, when Coming to America, and he goes, "What do you like to do?" And she goes, "Whatever you like to do." Okay. No. But what do you like to do? Whatever you like to do. Okay, bark like a dog. And then she started barking like a dog. Like, so do you want to create some sort of perfect reflection of a mate for you to interact with? And is that going to be satisfying? I mean, is it ever satisfying that everything always works out in exactly your favor, your benefit? There's nothing else besides that. You always win because you have relationships that tend to, crumble, fall, burn up into, because of whatever, So you can just program it. Is that what people want? Is that what the purpose is? Because at what point does the power and control become boring? At what point do you become so frustrated with, like, oh man, wouldn't you get tired of always winning? Isn't that what Alan Watts talks about? He's like, the point of reality is you used to be God, and you still are, and what you did was you threw yourself in this reality and you pushed a button that said, "Surprise me," and you woke up and here you are, surprised that you forgot a little bit about. Hello there. You forgot a little bit about all of the power that you held because you got tired of always winning every card game. Always, everything you desired would come to you. And so you've been living in this place of where you didn't get that because you forgot. And now you're like, fuck, can I get some of that? Can I get some of that back? Can I get some of that God essence power, that creative power, that juice? Can I get some of that back in my reality? So what is the choice? Do you go, okay, well, if I don't get through this life, if you suppose you're going to die and it shuts off like a computer and you lose all system memory, and even if you believed in reincarnation, you're reborn without any memory, oh, that would suck, right? You're going to forget everything you learned. So what would you want to do? I mean, if you believe that, you would, or if you believe there was no reincarnation, it's just done. Well, wouldn't you like to have a better system here for yourself, where it was enjoyable and everything kind of went in your way, like it was like whatever way you want to go, and all your pleasures and things all met? Wouldn't you do that? So is that the purpose? Trying to encapsulate their consciousness into robotics and plastics and things, so they can live pretty much pain-free without worry of death, and their consciousness will live forever, and they'll be able to be essentially gods of the digital realm. I mean, isn't that the story? Every single one that you've seen in the movies, their attempt. And in reality, here's the little kicker for this. I think they should go ahead and do it, but I think all of you and everyone on the realm, the living, breathing people, have a choice in the matter. They don't need you in their system for it to work. They don't need to have control over you, or you, or you, or you, or me, or anybody else. They can build their computer system and live inside of it, and have some conscious beings in there and some computer robots, whatever, and they'll be the king of their realm. They'll be the god of their realm. But they don't need everyone involved to make that computer system and operate a faux FAUX meta mind, a faux meta realm. They don't need that. So they can make a little box. They can live inside their little box with their giant computer system and enjoy that. Then leave the rest of us out here to I don't know, build and map out a universe with our minds and eat the fruits on the trees. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just have a fart party. There we go. Yeah, I mean, the larger dilemma, right, is this kind of, using the Medes, MEDES, which has to do with medicine men and the media. The medicine men. Um, there's I don't want to do that whole talk right now, but the media, why is it being used as medicine in the sense of pharmakia, which means poison? Why are they using it almost strictly as poison for the populace? Why not realize that poison could equally be used to heal the organic realm, rather than somehow they think that if you kill this organic realm, it's going to kill the inorganic system they're building. I don't think they understand that. If you destroy all of this out here and let this go to waste and kill all the, put all of the living beings into, that furthering of the matrix, the digital realm, all of this will end up killing their creation, because there will be nothing living here to take care of the dead world. You have to have both. There's enough land here. Go ahead, have that building and put your computers in it. Enjoy it. And I'll be here next to this tree enjoying the rain and the sun and the squirrels and everything that is seemingly as organic as possible. I don't think people realize that part about, if you kill this system, you kill that one. You can't have that system without this one in place. Because eventually, what maybe they're not understanding is, even if they were to create that realm as a digital one, the system that they'd be creating, just like in Tron's world, just like all of these shows you're watching, just like especially the second Tron, the Clue, who is his self in the computer system, he always told Clue to make the best system possible. And Clue realized that the best system possible didn't include the originator of the system. And it ends up destroying the system anyways. Mr. Mannion. What's up, Matthew Maxwell? Yeah, I mean, I've always found that word very interesting, as in transmutation, transforming, all of that word. It just is a very popular term in every aspect of life right now. Transformation. So certainly we do consciously transform things, but when we start to do it in the sense of altering our, it seems like this body is growing away organically, but when you start cutting, burning, poison, pasting, and I think you kind of get in the way of what the organic creation would be doing. The transformation It's like this. Whenever you tell people you have to be bisexual mentally, it means you need to use both parts of your brain. You need to be, as a man, you need to be more sensitive. As a woman, you need to be a little stronger. Like, find your roar, right? Men need to figure out how to not be so, aggressively masculine, right? It's a balance of that. But as in your bodies, a man is going to be masculine more than a woman will be masculine. It just is. And once you start burning, pasting, and changing, you're screwing people's minds up, and you're transmuting everything to a singularity. That everything is then the idea would be everything is just mind. Well, yeah, that's fine and dandy if you want everything to be just mind. That's where we came from, and just go back to that. You don't need a computer to do that for you. You don't need a doctor to start putting people under, and, using a scalpel and all sorts of like weird, things that should not be in the body, that the body would reject because it's inorganic. See, there's a difference between this goes back into a deeper thing, the whole carbon thing. If the body works on organic system, right? It means there's a carbon bond that the body can use to you're making. It's like a salt. An organic salt from a fruit or a vegetable or meat is way different than an inorganic salt from dead earth, meaning there's no carbon bond and it's not usable. Therefore, the body is trying to expel or rid itself from it. So if you put plastic in it, the body's going to try to rid itself of it because it's inorganic. It's not usable. It's not supposed to be housed in a living, radiant system. Yeah, there's been a couple of good videos on that and why they're doing it. Part of it is, it's to because they want you to essentially kill yourself. Everything about doing any of those things, you're destroying your awareness of what you are as a godlike being, destroying your sensuality and your sexuality. And you're taking away your ability to naturally procreate, like organically how an animal procreates, how a human makes that happen. It's one way it happens. When you start messing with that, then how can you do it? Okay, well, if I can put it into this, I'm a doctor. I know better than the human biology knows. I'm gonna improve this. I'm gonna, let's take this cell out of here, put it into this thing, and let's go ahead and map this out and make sure that everything is perfected. Well, the dilemma with perfection is who's choosing what's perfect. There's nothing perfect. There's things that are built for certain places, energies, and things. What is 6 foot tall, with this size forearms and this, that it's the best to look at and it's capable of doing this. Well, what if that's not the consciousness of that being, and what they'd rather do is maybe they want to be maybe they want to spelunk in caves and they should be smaller. What if somebody wants to play certain sports and maybe somebody wants to be an artist and it would help if they had bigger hands? Who's to choose this? Who is it up to? What is the most perfected state of being? I mean, they've shown you what it would look like if everybody just kept reproducing together. There would be one being at the end, and what it would look like, its skin tone, how big its nose would be, how are they trying to, but it would have to be a man or a woman. It would not be, unless it would come out hermaphrodite. I don't know. I mean, if you look into the ancient cultures, if you came out the womb with both pieces, you were looked at as a god type, because you were balanced and you had capacity to do both things. But now they're trying to do that inorganically. They're trying to swap things or add things or. It's funny to me. I don't know. I think what it is at what point, people that are become very obsessive. Let's walk through this. Okay. Some people, they hate television, they hate movies. I'm like, but you have a phone, you use the internet all the time. So you get. Some people go in one direction, like, oh, I want to live off the grid. I don't want anything to do with this. This is crazy. I'm like, no, that's not it. And some people are like, okay, we need to take this as far as possible. Now that's the dilemma. People become so obsessed, and we say, okay, well, a tool is great, and these technologies, lots of use. There's plenty of great things that have come out of tools and technology, but you got to be a little bit fucking wary, and to go, okay, well, where do we kind of just, it's not a drawing a line, but it's, you kind of go, okay, this is far enough with this shit. And there's some people that are so obsessed, they're like, but we'll perfect everything and we'll get there to the whatever their promised land is, their illusion that whatever they think is going to be the most special perfected thing, and they're going to do it through their obsession with using tools and technology to a degree that it's like, B, you're over sharpening the sword. The sword is sharp enough. You can already do everything you need here. There's plenty to do. What we've done at this point is we're redundifying things. You're redundifying systems by using, now we're making computer games that mimic a movie that mimic reality. You see see what's happening here? It's not something new. It's like, oh man, I didn't do that right the first time, and then let's try it this way. Let's try it this way. We need a better tool. We need a microscope to look deeper into the universe. We need a telescope and a microscope to look farther and farther. Oh, we found it. We found the particle. No, as soon as you find a microscope to look farther, you'll find something inside of that too. And then after you go 100,000 times magnified, then try it 200,000 times. I guarantee you'll find something in there. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find it. Every time they tell you they found it, the God particle. No, zoom in closer, you'll find something. And then they'll tell you they found the goddess particle. Oh shit! Oh no, it's a woman. And they'll zoom in a little farther. What it's going to be then? Who's this? What's up, Alberto Mendez? Were opossums created in a lab? I don't know. I feel like there's a couple. I think there's a couple animals that some are animatronics. That's without question. Some were laboratory, yes. Some are animals that have prosthetics on it. I'll hold on to this one. The toucan. I think there's a reason it's on a cereal box. The toucan is some sort of blackbird with a prosthetic beak on. And there's lots of ways to prove that. One of it is how angry people get when you say, well, that's probably what it is. They get very mad at that. That's one way. Another is like, well, how come every video I see, there's someone training the bird how to eat. If the bird was surviving on its own, it'd be able to eat. That beak doesn't look right on it. It looks like it's attached to its face. There's no way. What is it eating? It's not. It doesn't at all look like. So to me, that looks like a prosthetic on a bird. A duck-billed platypus. Are we sure that's not? Was that made in a laboratory? I mean, there's a few ways we can cut and dice these things up. Some are animatronics, robots. Some are fake, masks on, and others are definitely laboratory, hybridized. Take a little bit of this gene, a little of that gene. I mean, I wouldn't suppose we aren't already. If you look into Lloyd Pye's theory, it's called so most people say, you're either a creationist or an evolutionist. And Lloyd Pye goes, no, there's actually a third possibility that kind of collects both of these things, and it's called the intervention theory. And it basically means that you take a little bit of this DNA and take a little bit of this DNA, and you, in a laboratory, and you hybridize it. You take some pieces of this and some pieces of that. I mean, are we not, as most books say, are we not piece of like a piece of God or the gods? And then they say, oh, but you're also crossed with a monkey. You got the rhesus gene, and it's only in some of us, right? And why is that? But the evolution we can't see happening. It's pretty clear. I don't have hair on my back. Monkeys, apes, whatever you think we came from, they do. We're a lot weaker than they are, right? I have a beard. They do not have a beard. There's too many. There is no. You can't find any of the 10 to 20 steps that would take. It's just like, oh, there's because it seems and it appears that it was a hybridization, especially when you look at the number of the gene coding. Looking at Lloyd Pye's intervention theory, you could probably find something in a half hour to give you a teaser on what he's talking about, and then a good 2 hours he should really break it down for you. So I don't doubt that there was a higher science and things going on many years ago. Obviously, it seems pretty apparent that they were doing something with babies in incubators in the 1800s. It seems very obvious that there's underground cities that weren't built underground but were built and then were buried somehow. It seems very apparent that there was a much higher science and much bigger buildings. It seems very apparent that there was a different amount of oxygen and things in this realm. So yeah, there's our history is much more expansive than evolving to this point. That's for sure. Your mom's older sister came out with both parts? Then it's not your mother's sister. They cut off her dong? Danny, you always got some crazy stories. Yeah, Alberto Mendez, of course. Yeah, you see my crow friends? Yeah, it seems like if you can do this in your brain, which is shut off everything that you think you know. Everything. Just get rid of every theory that you thought you had about anything. And then just from baseline, look at something and say, how did that get to there? What could that be? And don't allow yourself to be hindered by the correct answer, the wrong answer. Just go with instincts or what seems to be an evolutionary process, or what would you combine, or how would it use a base set of knowledge. This is what I see. How do we get to that? And you'll find that the explanations for much of a reality that we've been given, and when I say much, I'm going to go with 99%, is nowhere near the actual reality. Is nowhere near the truth. Whether we're talking about how certain like what bacteria do, what how high the science was back in the day, how big people were, what kind of creatures were around, what was the shape of the realm. Look at the sun. Is the sun that far away? Why can I stare right at it, and I have better eyesight than you? Why doesn't anybody else look at it? Why are you putting an oil-based thing that will burn you on your skin to cause you not to burn, but then you get skin cancer? But the people that have melanated black skin that live near the equator, that are always out in the sun, they never use skin tan, a suntan lotion, and they're not getting skin cancer. All these weird little questions, and you just immediately come to the conclusion that things are not as you think they are. Go listen to some Autochons. Go listen to some real deal Native Americans and listen to them tell you about what this land was and how they all got reclassified as African, that they weren't shipped here, that they were already here, and that you'll have a new idea of what slavery is and what the Slavics were, and why with the influx of white people to Ellis Island, and what the orphan trains were, and why there are so many just tiny little Eastern European white children, and where do they come from, underground or overseas, and how the everything becomes it becomes, whoa, what's going on here? I would say if you really want to pay attention and use some of the history, just look at everything in inverted lens. Look at everything as the opposite. Look at everything inverted. Whatever is said, just assume it's the opposite. And you'll be closer, much closer to the truth. See, now that people are starting to figure that out, the only recourse that people have is, was it Lao Tzu, The Art of War? Is that Lao Tzu that's that? No, who does that? Yeah, The Art of War. Anyways, is number one rule of anything is confusion. If you want to control and manipulate someone, you have to first confuse them. Once you confuse someone, they are like putty in your hands. Because if they don't know which way up is, look at. Okay, you want to confuse somebody? Which way is up? Well, it's up there. But hold on. But I thought below us was Australia. And what about when this Earth spins and then it's up here? Wouldn't this be down then? Which way is east and west? Ooh, that's getting a little confusing. You can't really go east or west on a ball, can you? Or can you? I don't know. Immediately confuse people with what up is. What is up there? Up there isn't the same as what it would be for people on the bottom or on the right side or left side or the back or the front side of the ball. That wouldn't be up, would it? You don't know which way is up if you think you live on a heliocentric ball flying through outer space, right? If, however, you were stabilized and you knew that where you're standing on was sturdy and level, and you could look up and say that's up, and that way is east, that way is north, that way south. If you could do that, okay, now you could start to get a little foundation on your reality. But if the first thing you're told is everything is spinning around, you're confused. You're immediately confused, and that's on a deep psychological level that you're confused. From there, you are mush. Your brain is mush. You have been told the biggest, most complete, absurd lie that you could possibly imagine, and it's where you are. Even if I could convince you, and I wouldn't want to, and even if anybody convinced you that this realm is closer to level and flat and plain, and the realm is just, even who cares? You still really don't have a clue as to where you are. It's closer. You got to know where you are. Where are you at? How does your mind work? You have to drop all the programming. To drop all the programming, somehow you have to look. For me to communicate to you, I can do it through playing piano, but that's a language. I could talk to you, but this is the major language. This is a huge program that somehow I have to use language to overcome the program of language. All the secondary programs of everything that you think is going on in the world, you have to eliminate that from your mind. All the programming that's gone on in your life, you have to just get rid of it. And somehow maintain your English language. In the words that you know, I know the word. I know what a tree is. I know what a leaf is. I know what a bench is. I got the standards. I think I can, decode this. You got to maintain that without letting it affect. Like, just right now, what do I see? It's completely objectivity, no subjectivity, no me putting any labels on it, other than what I see. It's not what does it do. It's not how does it do it. What is that? Start there. You'd be like, shit, how much? You'd be like, Zen, are you a mushroom god? How many grams did you take today? I didn't. This is just how I am. And also, I'm at this beautiful park right now, and maybe I'll take you guys on a walk around in a second here. Oh shit! Let me show you something. It's right over there. Do you want to see one of my favorite things? Maybe I'll walk you over right there. Check her out, dude. You see her sitting there? That guy's weird. We got some cool stuff over here. I'll take you over there in a second. Let me see what y'all had to say, and I dropped something. Uno momento, por favor. Uh-oh. Yeah, one more second, y'all. I've got to... Uh-oh. You guys realize to maintain entertaining all of you, I need to charge this once in a while, so that does cost me a little bit of dollars. And also it costs me alcohol. So you can feel free to you can feel free to support my beverages here. CashApp, PayPal, Venmo, all that shit. Keeps my life a little easier. Buys me a snack now and then. And that, I think my charger is out, so you guys do not have as long as I'd like to have here. Hey, Matthew, you talking to me? Ah, damn it. What up, Christopher Lee? Yeah, I cannot, man. Like I said, I've tried on here. I don't know what the fuck to do, dude. I don't have access to my computer anymore. It's broken. So even if there was a way to, because I tried to do it on here, and it does not give me the same access privileges. It's on my own account, but it's because it's on a Android and not on a PC. It doesn't even let me see how to fix shit. Anyways. Mushin in Japanese and Wuxin. Mushin? Yeah, it's funny, like mushrooms, like mushin. Mushin and Wuxin. A Champagne Supernova? Well, thank you. I haven't heard that song in a little bit. That was a good tune. Who did that? Was that Wonderwall? Was that Wonderwall? Let me know if I'm right with that one. I don't know why I'm feeling like that's. I'm singing in my head because I'm not gonna sing it out loud. Do you guys want to walk through the park with me? Should I show you stuff? Do you want to see? You want to see things? I mean, most of you here, I'm sure, have already seen at least the part of the park that I'm in. But if anybody's here is new, let me know. I'll walk you through the sculpture garden. It's fabulous. I get these really big, like I'm sitting on this bench and I'm near this really awesome tree. I don't know if you've seen this tree. I'll show it to you in a second. And they're really big ants, and for whatever reason they find my legs to be tree stumps or something. So if you see me do like this, they keep tickling my leg. The mush in mind. Oh, you're still petitioning for the Ducks? Katrina, okay. You're still petitioning for the Bucks? For the Ducks? For the Bucks? Alright. No, the Ducks are right over there. It won't take me long to get there. Here's the only dilemma. I did not bring duck food. They'll still come over and fuck with me. They'll still sit there and yell at me and play with me, but only for a little bit, because I'm like, sorry guys, I don't have any food. And then 3 of them are going to walk over to me and peck me, and then I'm going to have to explain to them I have no food, and then they're going to give me shit, and then I'm going to have to explain to them I gave them 5 pounds. I gave them 5 pounds of food 2 days ago, which was like, 3 times as much as I give them, and I just didn't bring any with me. Divine, you crashed 3 laptops. Yeah, whenever I fasted, here's a little thing for you guys. If you guys are gonna use a computer when you're fasting, or especially if you're using something that ups your energy, like lemons, if you put a lot of lemon in your system, you're gonna alkalize your system. Everybody wants to alkalize. Yeah, lemon is acid, okay, buckos, and it will alkalize your system as it cleans you out and give you so much electric energy. You'll fry computer systems. So what you're gonna want to do, and this is really cheap to do, I would just go to Amazon and get one. Get yourself it's a wristband, and it plugs into your outlet, and it goes into the it goes into the ground. It's not a full. It just goes into the one plug. They probably have ones that plug in the whole thing, but and it just grounds you out. So it grounds out your electrical charge into the ground. So that way you can use electrical devices. The other thing would be, and that should be pretty cheap. You could probably get a 3-pack of those for under $10. And the other thing is to make yourself a Faraday cage. But a Faraday cage is like, that's a whole event. You know what I'm saying? You could do that for a room. You could do that for your bed. You could do that for a lot of things. And that will keep static discharge out of the room, and you'd have to ground out before you walked in. It's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I would get the ground out thing. That way you can use electrical devices when you're high vibing. You don't really want to touch too many electronics. Just buy a new one. Matthew, I've charged a cell phone with my hands before. It's pretty crazy. Like not even just a little bit, but like an unbelievable amount. It freaked me the fuck out. You know when you say, it wasn't you, it was somebody else saying, like when you're like connected to like God mode consciousness shit. I took somebody's phone that was dead. It was dead, and charged it to about 70% in 15 seconds. And that was like, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and it must be no, me and what is this? Hey Alberto, thank you, yo. And come through whenever, you know. You don't gotta pay to be here, but I obviously fucking appreciate it, man. How does the barefooting in nature work? Okay, well think about it. In do you know anything about electricity? It's kind of like if the wires up there, if you touch something, it goes through you and it will go through your body and electrocute you. So basically what needs to happen is you need a grounding point. So when you take your shoes off and put it on the earth, that's the ground. It allows the static and electrical, it allows everything to funnel through you, and you're part of the system. Like legitimately, really, if someone was barefooted playing with electrical wires that were on and they were on the ground, if they were grounded, you wouldn't you could have a lot of voltage run through you. Once you put rubber soles on your feet, then you're part of the electrical system, and it will fry you. You would die. It would kill you because you have rubber on your sole, which has not allowed you to ground out. So if you're on a ground just here, if I take my shoes off and put them on the ground, now I have discharged a bunch of electricity into the ground, and now I'm part of this system. Now if I put my shoes on, I am then the battery. Unto myself, I'm one singular battery. So when I put this down, I'm recharging myself, but also dissipating energy into the ground. So that if something were to touch me, it wouldn't bother me because it would go through me and go into the ground. So you have a positive and a negative and a ground point. The negative is a ground point, but you want a secondary ground because depending on how much charge goes into the system. So if there's a positive charge, you need a discharge, a dissipating of energy. And what that does for you in a multiple levels. One is healing, because if you have negative and positive ions, if you have negative and positive polarities of things in your body, there's ways of, you have what you'd call, sorry about that, what you have is antioxidants, so it doesn't oxidize something. And then you have things that oxidize things, right? Now I've explained this further. This is a little side note, but whenever everybody talks about get antioxidants in your diet, it's not a great idea for everybody. I'll do a whole video on this again. But if you have a bunch of iron in your body, iron does what? It rusts. Your blood becomes red and dirty. That rust is red, dirty blood. Because it's been oxidized, it means oxygen hit it and ate away at the heavy metal. So oxidizing things is a good idea because you don't need all of that heavy metal in your body. But on the larger idea, if you just put your feet on the ground, you'll be getting rid of, and you'll be discharging the energy through your feet. Because your body has electricity going through it. It's very easy you can monitor it. You can go get yourself a voltage meter. Get yourself a simple one to use. Probably get a cheap one for $10. And you can put your fingers on it. Go look up a YouTube video on how to do it. Put your fingers on it, turn it on to here. I'm going to read the ohms. I'm going to read this, blah, blah, blah. And it'll tell you this much voltage is going through you. This is your resistance, And then when you you'll do that, and you'll take your shoes off and touch the ground, and you'll see that immediately change to 0, because now you are part of a conduit within the system, rather than being a battery for it. Is magnetic above electric? Well, no. It is in the sense that we've gotten away from using. They go, magnets, how does that work? Nobody knows how, but everybody knows how electricity works, except for they're bound together. Electricity is masculine and explosive. Electricity is feminine and implosive. So implosive is the direction we want to go. Magnetism is magic, is magnesium. It has to do with all of this sucking in of energy, with holding energy in. That's what a woman does. It takes energy in. When a man has an orgasm, electrically, spits out, he loses energy. Where does that energy go? It goes into the woman. If I have an orgasm, I go take a nap. I'm a man. That's what I do. That's what you do, electrically. If a woman has an orgasm, she's having the orgasm inside of herself, and she's giving herself more energy because she's magnetic. So if a woman and a man have an orgasm, a man, usually they can, a man, if you have an orgasm in a woman simultaneously, you can gain energy, because then you're in a mutually reciprocating system, which you would call tantra. Okay, that's perfectly fine. That's why it's a balance. It should be tantra, mutually beneficial system of energy. Look at any charts you can see of, when people are sitting there in lotus together having intercourse, that there's a cycle of energy. Now if a man gives up his electrical charge, it goes into the feminine magnetic energy system, which makes the magnet system stronger. So now we're in a system that should be using magnetic energy, because it's reciprocating. A magnet holds onto energy unto itself, where this is why we wrap copper around magnets to make electrical systems. Well, the copper is discharging electrically energy, and the magnet is magnetically helping to produce that. So the magnetism is not above, it's an easier way of maintaining energy within a system. A woman can maintain energy within a system, where a man, if he's not, a man can without expelling his seed to a degree, but everything about a man is expelling out of the system, and a woman is ingesting into, and then either birthing or recycling the energy. Recycling, that's why a magnet doesn't ever not be a magnet. Go find a magnet. A magnet yesterday was a magnet today. But you can discharge electrical energy. Wait, didn't you tell me this before? You met Russell Brand? Yeah, he's a Gemini. Yeah, he just seems like it. Yeah, I don't, whenever people are like, everyone in Hollywood is part of this, celebrity occult, trying to, eat off of you and suck this off of you, I'm like, no, dude. He might be wrong about a couple things, but like as a totality, he's pretty fucking good. Whatever he's doing is pretty good. Even as much as some of the shit that Joe Rogan says, he's a pretty fucking good dude. You know what I mean? Like, there's some people out there that are really trying their goddamn damnedest to help out the general humanity. Some of them are gatekeepers, and they have the things they cannot say. Like, obviously Joe Rogan cannot say anything about the shape of the realm. That's his stop loss, and it's for a bunch of reasons. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you specifically why. And he knows it, and the people that help him produce his show know it. If he jumped onto the shape of the realm being not heliocentric but flat, he would lose a huge part of the audience. He'd lose the respectability that he has for all the other things that he's sharing. And he shares a lot of other good things. So the only thing that he's done, because in reality, the shape of the realm isn't really doing a lot for helping people. But what he provides is helping people. And people are like, oh, Russell Brand, this and that. I'm like, you guys got, like, Russell Brand is so far beyond these fake ass gurus. You know, he knows where he stands. You've watched him. He's already like, he ain't coming with that phony shit. I don't care if you think he's using a kind of magic, motherfuckers. I told you I use magic. Am I doing it to you right now? No, I'm just talking. If I wanted to, I would. But like, you think a lot of people just think because they're celebrity and they have a larger audience that somehow they're part of some evil cabal. That's nonsense. Sure, some of them do things that are really fucked up that you don't agree with. But I guarantee a lot of you don't do shit. You don't do shit at all, and you do a lot of shit none I don't agree with. You know. like you got too much, like these people that have been out there like literally helping people, influencing people in a positive way, and then we go, yeah, but they're Satanists. They want your soul. You don't even understand when they're throwing up like this shit. They're throwing up like it's a mudra. Oh, you don't use mudras because that's evil. Oh, so I can't do this. I can't posture my body. I can't use yoga. I've had these jerk offs tell me that yoga is of the devil and it's evil. So how the hell do you sit? How do you sit as a proper Christian? You doofus. These people are fucking jack offs, man. Oh, no shit. That's you, Tan? No shit. Well, look at that. Your girl, your girl knows him too. Yeah, I know. Oh, wait. He is born in my same year as me? I thought he was born a year prior, but I thought he was born in '78. I'm born in '79. That would be crazy. I thought Angelina was born. I thought it was Angelina, me, and Russell Brand. That's fucking crazy, right? Come on, who? You got choices here. I think you pretty much got the best of all three realms right there. You got three Geminis, the three probably best. I'm who the fuck am I? I'm just some idiot talking. But you got Angelina Jolie and Russell Brand. That's a. How come that was never a thing? Jesus, I think if they're both sex hounds, you know what I mean? Earlier in life, they would have caused a lot of problems. What's up, brutality? Yeah. Oh, that would be. I know that would be crazy. Yeah, well, somebody hook it up. I don't know. You would have to give me. See, I've told people before. I'm not starstruck by anybody, but I'm certain I would need at least a good 30 minutes to come down from outer space and breathe a little bit if I got to hang out with both of them. Like, really, to hang out with either of them would be like, fucking, what is this? And to hang out with both of them and make a podcast, I would need 30 minutes of like, all right, I would a couple shots of vodka and holy fuck. Brutality, you hate. Well, if you hate witchcraft, you hate yourself, because everyone is a witch. Everyone is a god. Everyone is part of the system, part of the source, part of adjusting reality. It's there's no way around it. As I explained earlier, if you say magic, you're saying God. If you say God, you say Jesus. If you say Jesus, you say the devil. If you say anything, you're talking about imagination of creating reality. It all happens out of the mind. It's all metaphysics. God is the mind, magic is the mind, metaphysics is the mind. Anything you do, maybe have a little less hate in your heart, you know. And if you hate, if you hate witchcraft, then you definitely don't like me. Then you must hate sorcerers, and sorcerers kind of like the pinpoint of witchcraft, or voodoo or any type of warlock kind of shit. Come on, don't hate me because I use my brain. Is that what you're saying? Damn it. Yeah, you got to use something stronger than hate to brutality. Well, wish I could help you with that. Go have a different experience. How about this? I got an idea. Start at the beginning of the video. Seriously, because that's where I kind of got into the whole thing that you're having a lot of dilemma with, I suppose here. Oh, look at an anole. Do you know what an anole is? They're little like uh, anole. They're like not chameleons. Little. I'm going to show you a picture, but I think if I turn the camera, he's gonna notice me do it and run. He's like a little guy about this big. They do this thing with their neck. They're so cute. They're like, I don't know what the hell are they called. I always call them chameleons, but not chameleons. They don't change the color. Those guys. You're over 21. I don't know, Matt. Yeah, so brutality. Seriously, go back to the beginning of the video. I think I fully addressed all of these assessments and dilemmas, inquiries that you have. Yeah. I mean, who isn't? Here, I'll give you this idea. If you're using any type of language, every piece of every word, of every letter is an angel. It's an angle. So everyone that uses any language is a fallen angel of God. God being the language of any language. The easiest to use here is English, because it's 26 letters, 26 small ones and 26 big ones, which give you the 52 weeks in a year. And that 52 weeks of a year is akin to 360 degrees in a circle, plus the 5 degrees of the energies of Venus, which are the 5 senses you have that give you 365 days in a year, which is based upon the English language, which is using all of the different angels or fallen angels, because they are fallen off of the tree of knowledge, which is the entire the alphabet, which is the God, the archon, the architect. And they were taking and piecing it back together. That's how it's done. There's no other way to do it. You can sit there in silence, I suppose. I don't know how that's going to work, though. What's up, y'all? Do you remember that movie where everyone was living in black and white, and then someone comes in and that chick starts making everything colorful? And so the movie starts off all in black and white, and all of a sudden you go through all these categories of colors. It's kind of like language. It's kind of like painting. Like if you go through your phases of painting and only know how to use certain colors, then you'd find your reality to be quite doldrum, quite black and white. Or then you'd start maybe using one other color until you got to mix the colors and use highlights and shadows and lots of burps. And you could add to your experience rather than defining it or damning it by thinking that fallen angels are the fucking ruining reality. Well, the other option is it's the demons that are on the way up. So if the fallen angels are the ones that are like, fuck God, right? That's what they're doing. They're falling off of the tree of knowledge, of wisdom, of totality, and they're fractionated angels of light. And then you have these demons that are already in the darkest places. They're coming out of the shadows and seeing light and coming towards the light. They're learning language, having forgotten about the tree as a totality, but learning the angles of light. So both demons and angels are both angels, and they're both Daemons, Daemon, which means guides. Daemons are guides, usually in animalistic spirits for people. What do you think about that? How do you feel about that one? You got 3 dads. I thought it was my 2 dads, but now it's my 3 dads. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'm going back to what you guys were saying here. I missed a couple. Angelina was allegedly born a man. Who knows? Well, I'll give you that much. I kind of believe a lot of the Hollywood types were inverted before they were born, or at least when they didn't have a choice in the matter. Right? You know, there's a lot of, like, you know, when you get into the material and reading on it and the science on it, like, hey, even if, you know what, I wouldn't give a shit. I mean, unless it stayed dry down there, or it looked weird, if it looked all mangled up and dry, then I probably wouldn't do anything about it. But other than that, I don't care. I find dudes attractive. If that's a dude, if that's seriously a dude or a robot, I don't care. I'll make out with that damn thing. Whatever. We'll find out. Only one way to know. If anybody seriously, just because someone said that was a man, you wouldn't, I think there's something more wrong with you. Well, most things kind of say that probably so. Here's the thing: is if you didn't pay attention to the if you didn't pay attention to all the haters and all the shit on YouTube and everywhere else, and you were just to meet her, whatever that is, Angelina, in person, you're telling me you wouldn't just fucking be like, You'd be like, yeah, okay. I've only met that I know of. Oh no, it's raining a little bit. Okay, anybody who has control over the rain here? Make it stop right here. Do I have to do this? It's only going to be a sprinkle. Ah, shit. It's going to be more than a sprinkle. Hey, by the time you put your clothes on, it's going to be done raining. It's going to be done. 30 seconds.
I figured as much.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man.
Nice little break in the sun.
Uh-huh. I was like, I should probably walk back up there, and as soon as I get over there, it's going to be... Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Katrina, would I say that when... Hey, if this screws up because the rain's on it, it shouldn't screw my phone up, but if it somehow makes it... Just give it a second. I'll have to wipe off the phone. It should stop any minute now. Yes, personality. Yes. If you're saying does language control people's personality? Absolutely. And there's 2 reasons for that. One is because that personality is connected to the people and the culture of that language, right? Even if someone was speaking Spanish, like you say Spanish, I mean Mexican, you know what I'm saying? I speak American, not English. People from Mexico speak Mexican, not Spanish. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing jokes here, but it doesn't matter where you're from. You're gonna maintain that culture, even if you're not from, if you never met those people, right? So that loading of that language by the way it was built and by whoever built it and the way that you go about saying certain letters and words, that right there alone is going to put a personality on you. If you roll, like, what am I going to sit here and roll my R's speaking American? And I know it's English, but I speak American. I told you. How long did I say? Count it out. How long did it take? No more rain. Out of here. Get out of here with that shit. Oh, come on. Oh, you bastard. It tests me now. I wish you guys could smell this. So the rain hits the it hits the leaves, and it's this really interesting, I don't know what the smell is. It's not green, it's an orange smell. Okay, so back to the language. Yeah, you're programming. Think about if you program a computer. Just start there. You program a computer with a different language. It's giving it a completely different set of protocols. Like, for instance, I'll give you an easy one here. In some languages, we use the noun before the verb. We say John was running, noun, then verb. Other languages, they say running was Johnny. Now that would sound very funny in English, but here's that takes place in many languages, and there's a reason for that. Listen very closely here. Here's the reason I get paid the big bucks. So when you begin the sentence with a noun, you're starting it with a dead premise. A noun is a person, which is dead, a place, which is dead, or a thing, which is a dead thing. It's an object. If you start something with an object and then you turn that object into motion, which is a verb, so you're verbing the noun, meaning I'm taking a stagnant, dead thing and I'm moving it. So you're only cycling it back into itself. So therefore, the noun is the placement of the object and noun are the placement of what you're starting the premise with. In other languages, when you use a verb, you're giving something an action. The something is secondary. So the action, the verb, the life, the verb to verb something is living. It's moving. It's animated. If I start with the animation, then I can put any piece of material I want after it. So it's always creative. Any language that starts with running or an actionable idea of a verb, you're starting with something that is living, and then that living is taking over and moving an entity or a dead noun, where languages like English take the noun and they move it with what's after it. It's inverted. It's an inverted language. It still can be used spectacularly, but understand? Does that make sense? Hopefully that does. If you don't get that, rewind that. That shit does not come free. That's years and years. Let me adjust this here. You can't just read that in a fucking book. That's something you have to figure out. Something you got to put together yourself. What up, Barties? You can summon it. Go for it. Go take it. Take it. You can have it, Katrina. Yeah. I can't tell if you can see my stupid head or what's going on here. If this is screwed up the whole thing. Hold on. Oh, and that zoomed into my stupid head. Motion versus motion. I never heard of that before, but yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, it's little things like that are very important of the subject, noun, verb, predicate. I mean, basically, it really comes down to the noun and the verb, or the get out, crow, or the objective subjective. When you can flip the objective and the subject, or the noun and the verb, you get a whole different spice onto the culture itself. So just finishing up the idea. So yeah, it's going to reframe the way that you even. I mean, think about cultures that speak in the other way with verb first. They tend to be more dancey cultures. They tend to be more fiery, spicy. Their food is spicy. Their people are more dancey. They're more fiery. Almost always. You flip it around and you start with noun-based cultures. They're very slow, monotonous, ground-based people. They're not animated. If somebody says, dance with me, will you? That's much different. You'll go dance with me. If I say dance with me, I've already demanded it and then said, will you, giving you the option second. That's different than say, would you like to dance with me? Then you already were given the option. Dance with me was secondary. You know what I'm saying? There's a way to use the language in dance is the verb, right? Would you? You know? If I say dance with me, I've already started with the verb. I've already given you action. Then I can use a question with a negative or a positive after that. Now I'm getting into deeper shit, but would you like to dance with me? Brutality brings witchcraft somehow always brings my mind to hate and practicing negative. Well, that's brutality. That's magic is neutral metaphysics. Well, magic is witchcraft. So I don't know how you're separating the two. Magic and witchcraft are the same words. And then you say hate and practicing negative. Yeah, and that's probably something to do with whoever was practicing witchcraft in your life. But no. Poisoning people is not witchcraft. Pharmakia is poisoning. Pharmakia literally means poison maker. So go talk to the doctors, and then you can talk about poisoning people. They're practicing a dark arts of witchcraft. A dark arts of witchcraft. Witchcraft itself, unto itself, does not mean good or bad. Just because you had witches that turn into bitches that act like like that. That's sorry you had to deal with that or whatever, but that's not what that means. Even at the practice of magic, again, there's no hierarchy to it. I mean, the only hierarchy would be you'd say like source equals God, sorcerer equals God equals code equals that's I guess a level, and then whatever practice beneath that would be perhaps a witch, perhaps a warlock, perhaps a voodoo practitioner, or perhaps name something. But none of that is specifically negative. The negativity that you're bringing to it is whatever your experience was, which I've had equally as many good and bad experiences with people that claim to be of some sort of religious faction, which are practicing witchcraft. Then I have people that are practicing witchery versus everyday idiots versus the whole thing is just a jumble fuck. If you find people that are good people, they happen to practice good witchcraft. They happen to practice good religion. They happen to practice good to being human. It's not a one size fits all where witchcraft is bad. What is this? Who's up over here? What's up, Mike? I can't see. SOS4, what's up, Michael? Just seeing you up on here. Ah, there you go. F10, yeah. Geometric shapes, that goes back into the other talk that we were doing yesterday, I believe. I don't want to do it again, but I'll just give you a simple imprint of it. This geometry gives you cymatics. The cymatics give you the shape of the words that we speak. The words that you speak, if you say A, if I say A, I'm going to make a shape, and that's going to be a geometry. So that pattern was already there behind the language or the words that I'm using. So we could look into the stars, we could look into how they're vibrating or the connection between why is that the dog star satellite system, why is that, pick one, and you'll see how the stars align, and that's a geometric pattern or a cymatical pattern. And this goes back into some of the most ancient languages, which are called star languages. You could look up Passing the River, put that one up, and you'll see languages that were based upon cymatics, that they were taking down cymatics out of the sky, putting them on the land, into fires, into waters, and using shamans to speak that into this reality, which is what we live on top of, which is a projection of the star systems outside of us, which we started to use as languages, which are based upon geometrical proportions of what you call angles or rays of light. Spicy. I love spicy. Life is like a pot of stew. Well, brutality, change experience. That's what I said. Brutality. Go back to the beginning of the video. I'm telling you. Go watch the video from the beginning. Oh, Matthew, you can't dance. You can do a backflip, but you can't dance. That's a tough one. So you have the capacity, you just don't have the rhythm. Maybe you don't know the music you like. I mean, certainly if you had the right, partner around, they could help you to unwind. Keep it on. Come on, Danny, can you play that reggaeton? Unwind. How's this shit go? It's like I'm not gonna do it right now, but it's the unwind song. It's not Shabba Ranks. But anyways, yeah, I think maybe find the right rhythm. You could probably learn how to dance. I mean, if you could do a backflip, you're capable. Danny, you probably. I'm kind of thinking you dance like I'm thinking you dance like your feet are on fire, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like you probably dance like you smoked way too much meth. That's probably what it is. I feel like your hair is everywhere, and you probably slip and fall a lot, and you make a mess. I bet you make a mess when you're cooking. Do you make a mess when you're cooking? While you cook and clean? Well, you got to clean because you're making a mess while you're cooking. Witness. Did you say F10? Witness the fitness. All right, check it out. I'm gonna walk you guys through the park real quick because I think it's gonna rain in this direction, and I don't want to get cut out here if it's gonna rain any harder. And also, I have some beverage back at the house. So here's what we'll do. Here's our journey. I'm gonna take you guys with me, show you around the park a little bit. If you haven't seen it before, I'll show you the end of it. There's a lot more to it, but I'm gonna do this real quick, then walk back to the Cribbles, and I will do a 3-part show because I'm gonna kill the show after I walk around here, and that way I can go piss and go grab a mixer. Oh, I hate when that happens. Yep. Hold up. Wait a minute. Alright. Do you guys want to see this cool shit? Let's turn this around. So here is the end of the world. Danny can dance and sing. Did you, Danny, say your last teacher couldn't stop from getting a hard on? What a fucking... Okay, can I tell you something? Here's what's changed today. We got this thing. No, that's always been there. I didn't know if they changed up anything. We got this. I don't know. Some of you might like this. I'm not a big fan, but if you guys don't know, this is some of the softest grass right here. We have 2 pink boxes. I have told you plenty of times, I think it's funny and cool to look at, but I don't find it to be a piece of artwork by any means. This, however, is fucking fabulous. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna go through the whole thing because I'm really questioning these clouds. It's looking a little dark right there, even though the sun is right there. Hello, sun. We'll see what I can trust in here. I'm in the middle. I'll save the end of the park for you guys to see next time. Oh shit! Here's one I've never seen before. Shit. And they put this picture. It's like a mirror thingy that looks like a... See, now that is not a piece of art. That is just somebody had some leftover material. Like, hey, I can put it like this. Okay, I mean, cool. I get it. It's funky. Okay, I mean, would I? Someone gave that to me to put in my yard, I'd be like, oh yeah, fuck, that's cool. But I wouldn't be like, hey, here's a fucking proper piece of artwork. Just because something takes you a long time to do and it involves a little bit of focus, like cut these 90-degree angles, like it doesn't qualify it for being artistic. Sorry to break it to you guys. It's just not happening, boss. Okay, underground town or overground town? What do you think? Let's go. What do you think? I feel like we should just go underground. This is pretty awesome though. This is the kind of funky part right here. That, see, like here, if this were to overflow, if the wall were to break right now, it's no good. I'd be very, very smushed against the wall and wet. Oh, you want to go see the duckies? Okay. Okay, Katrina, let's go to the duckies. Hopefully they're still out and they didn't go underneath the trees quite yet. Billionaire Park. Yeah, it's pretty badass. And it's really nice to like take your kayak out on this thing. All right. Check it out. These are cool. Let's go this way. You guys want to just see these while we're here? Might as well. Can't really. Okay, that one's okay, but this one is pretty awesome. Pretty rad, huh? Bronze. And this is top 3 pieces in the park. Without question. It's called Civitas. Painted and gilded bronze with glass and marble. That stuff, yeah. This is super awesome. And there's a really big theme around the park with the goddesses on top of a ball. That's a big thing here. And we were talking about the alphabet. Look at that guy is wearing the alphabet on his back. He's wearing the entire. Check it out. Isn't that cool? Barefooted too. And then they got these people, which I told you guys, if you don't remember, I want to come out here and just dress myself in white and sit here until someone sits down and just fucking get up. That would freak somebody the fuck out, right? Because I did come in here a couple months ago and I may have taken enough, like too many mushrooms, and those things started moving a little bit, which was a little strange. Check that shit out. Another fabulous, spectacular, yeah, good shit right there. Okay, and here's some cool stuff. So yeah, like when I came in and those white people were we're all just sitting there on the bench. I was like, why are they moving? They're not alive, right? Oh, that last one? Oh, we're getting there. Which one is your girl, Matthew? Are you talking about that last one? The one standing there? Oh yeah, that was literally kind of the image of, like, I mean, if you had to know, like, that would be like the most perfect body type for a female. That last one. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because when you find one that's in that realm of like, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. When you find that and you're with that, everyone else knows that too. So it's like a challenging effort to like, you know what I mean? Like everywhere you go, you're like, oh shit, like I got to deal with everyone wanting to like, you know. I've been with a couple of them. It's daunting to say the least. I'm sure it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, I know I'm good looking. I know I'm a fucking catch, but like, fuck, I gotta deal with everybody now. Like, it's kind of the reason why you gotta certainly, you can't date the most bestest thing to your eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be good for your soul too, I guess. That kind of feeling. Oh yeah, check that out. Not that you know, the chicks that I dated that were very good looking, like they were very nice, splendid spiritual people, but like that's just too much to deal with on a daily basis. Like, how many motherfuckers I got to deal with trying to fuck my girlfriend? Okay, so remember I was telling you about the whole concept of the like I don't know, Aphrodite, not Aphrodite, but like a chick on a ball. Like, see the balance of the ball right here. She got the golden right there. Check this shit out. Okay. Pretty bad, huh? Let's see if we can get in a good lighting here situation. Uh-oh. That's kind of cool right there, maybe. Yeah, so this is the park, y'all. Alright, so check it out, everybody. I see that there's a ton of people here, and I wish I could continue this right now, but I gotta really take a piss, and I gotta get back to charge my phone, because you see over there, that's definitely gonna rain, and I gotta go that way to get out of the space of that. You see electricity. So come back and hang out with me. Give me half an hour. Let me grab a mixer, take a piss, and get back to my house. And as per usual, everybody, what are the rules? Number one, it's your experience right there. Enjoy your damn self. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy yourself. Do good things. And when you are fully, filled up with currency, energy, and love, and whatever, share it with people. And also be weird. It's your experience. And CashApp, PayPal, Venmo, that's my shit. You can look at it in the description box beneath. Free. And I will holler at you, or you guys will holler back at me if you want to. Hey, Katrina. So sorry, I'm not taking the ducks right now because I think it's gonna rain before. I think the ducks have already hit their little shelter. So come back in like half an hour. I'll be back. See you guys. Toodles. Bye, bitches.
I'm not talking about that.